But Walter Mosley, with his writing, took a principled stand. And it was a stand in which has guided him faithfully for more than 30 years, and has guided him in the production of, Walter and I had this discussion. I said, Walter, is it 50 books? He said, no, 52 books. So it has guided him in the production of 50 books. That's because he was messing with me at the table. No, honestly, 52 books, okay? Walter, you stand, and the way you work, the things that you work, have brought you acknowledgement and acclaim the world over. And tonight, Mr. Mosley, here to be honored by your peers. And it is with great pleasure that I, on behalf of those peers, in recognition of your many, many contributions and your commitment as a writer and as a mystery writer, present to you the 2016 Grandmaster Award.
I love Paul Coates. I think he's one of the greatest men I've ever known, and also he's my best friend, which is a wonderful thing, because Paul Coates is your best friend means that you're protected, He's a librarian, a publisher, the one-time Minister of Defense of the Black Panthers in Baltimore. In the day when people tried to shoot you for that kind of thing, or at least arrest you, first arrest you, then shoot you. And that makes me think, because how the odd bedfellows of our room. I also really like Otto Penzler, who we don't agree with anything. Not one thing, except for, when it comes to human things, and, we sit down and talk and it's perfectly fine, Otto and Paul. That alone is like worthwhile being in this room. I wrote a very short piece to say something, and it has the word at the top, and the word is acceptance. And I think maybe it's more of a title than it is anything else. And I'll read it because, that's what I do. I can remember back when I was a child, crying or complaining about some bright color or sweet taste that I was being kept from. I was no longer an infant or toddler. I had language and should have had some restraint. I had the potential to express love in the abstract, and my father would say to me in different words that I should be thankful. Maybe I didn't show it, but I heard it. I knew that I was safe and warm and that he would have died for me, that he had slogged through decades of innocent blood for me, that he and my mother had worked every single day for me, that they had felt my pains before I was even aware of them and had been there when I awoke screaming or vomiting in the night. They were ready with a cool towel and country cures. I knew that outside the front door was a world that was like a herd of trampling prehistoric elephants, and I was a simple mosquito, vulnerable to the great breezes they created in their path. I was safe, but outside I was nothing, and I and my multitude of fellow gnats could be crushed, drowned, broken, or simply plowed under the fertile mud, and no one would even remark upon, much less mark our passing. My father taught me how to laugh at mishaps and lost opportunities, and to laugh with the harsh winds and the deep verdant forests and high-flying birds, big-eyed fishes, and the difference between the deep blues of the sky and the deeper blues of the ocean. Laughter was thankfulness. Those blues were thankfulness. And one day my mother and father would be dead. And so when I was crying and complaining about the lost opportunity of something sweet, they were preparing me for a loss that was unthinkable for someone so small and protected from the stampede that is our world. And so, when I stand here before you today, being given this precious honor, I am not only thankful, I am also bereft at the sacrifice we all make for these brief moments of joy. I am always thankful to my parents for being less than perfect, but always managing to keep me safe, for their love that I didn't need to deserve, for their battles won and lost. And also, I want to thank Sally Ann McCartan, who has protected and guided me while listening to my whining and complaints in the lap of luxury. And Gloria Loomis, who thanked me more than once for following my politics rather than the banker's gold. And Julia Masnick, too, who picks up the errant pages that might have otherwise fluttered under a pachyderm feet. Jerry Howard, with whom I have often argued bitterly, but still he published me with dignity, hope, and pride. I still have some advances to earn back. And there are new friends like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who was out there in the world fighting for us, representing us, when he didn't even know our names. To Mark Neiman, who showed me how to get high in his parents' backyard. I still remember how hard we laughed that afternoon. I can still feel it in my chest. For Diane Houseland, the woman who believed me when I said that we could make something out of nothing. For the MWA that set anchor for us all to have a place to hang on, if not actually a safe harbor. But there are others to be thankful for, to and for. I can't say everyone's name, but how about Eleanor Taylor Bland, who was the best of us? Hugh Holton, Rudolph Fisher, Chester Himes, Donald Goines, Barbara Neely, Iceberg Slim, Valerie Wilson Wesley, Ishmael Reed, Nikki Baker, Paula Woods, Gar Anthony Haywood, and Gary Phillips, who a friend of mine once said has a voice so strong that it goes right through you. Somewhere out there is Paco Taibo and all the readers and the writers, the critics and workers that make literature work. I have to be, and I am thankful for all of you, because this night means something to me. And I know it does to all of us in this storm of mastodons that we call a world. Thank you.